How's it going, boys? If you're watching this video, it's probably because you decided to play the game again, right? You probably decided to give it another go. You're coming back into the game, but you stopped playing the game many months ago. A lot had changed since you guys stopped playing the game. Well, if you're watching this video and you're not level 60, this is not going to be the guide for you. This is if you stop playing, but you made it to level 60. So if you're level 60, the first thing that we're going to look at is your gear 600? If your gear is not 600, as you guys can see over here, for me it says 625, but since you guys stopped playing the game a while back, probably you didn't get it to 600. And why do we need it 600? Well, because the moment that you get to 600 is the one time that is going to feel a little bit competitive in PvP. You're going to have a fighting chance, slim, but not like you're going to get one shot. And on top of that, you will be able to start getting your legendary gear and not having to worry that it's not 590 or above, which that is changing next patch, but probably you guys are starting now and not waiting until the next patch. The ways to get your gear score up, one way is you do your elite runs every single day. Those that happen, at mines, they happen at Merc, pirates, etc., etc. You do those every day and you will get a good amount of expertise jump. Since you can do those only once a day, I recommend that you do them. And on top of that, you might get a lot of resources because you haven't been playing the game for a minute probably. So coming back now, you want these resources. It's a good way to get money. It's a good way to get the expertise bumps. Whenever you do your elite runs, the other way, which is I think the best way, is doing expeditions, doing Genesis or Barnacles and Black Powder, right? That will be the easiest and fastest way for you to get your expertise jump. Just doing a dozen or two of Genesis run, maybe like 2 dozens of Genesis run, it will get you almost all the way up to 600. It's not bad, and on top of that, you will get a lot of money, you will get a lot of gear. Maybe not like 20 run, but maybe it will get you 20 run because still is an RNG factor. Although they have made it way better for you to get the expertise nowadays. Whenever you're running these dungeons, I will recommend that you go to your faction leader and you take whatever expedition mission he has for you. Go ahead and take it, right? Go ahead and take it. As you can see, he had one there for me. It gives you a pretty good amount of coins, give you also a pretty good amount of tokens and reputation. So grab this mission. The first 3 missions that you do a day, it will give you way more reputations and tokens. So I recommend that you take the instances one. Then you can still do them, but they will give you way less tokens and reputation. Well, and whenever you do your dungeons and whenever you do some other activities like PvP arenas, PvE arenas, and whenever you run the dungeons, you're also going to get these things. I don't know if they were in the game when you left, but these are called the gypsums, right? And you get several colors of them, like ruby gypsum, amethyst, topaz, obsidian, etc., etc. You get a lot of these as you do some of these activities. And whenever you get those, you come into the kiln like this. These kilns, they are in the level 60s, 51 to 60, like Eden Grove, the top 3 places over here, and Evanscale Ridge and Rigwater. Those are the places that you can find the kiln. You go to the kiln, you convert the gypsums that you got, you convert them into the gypsum orbs. And then you utilize a gypsum orb to forcefully get one of your pieces of items, and increase the expertise. Like for example, the 2 that I recommend, the first is going to be your main 2 weapons, or if you're like Fire Staff and Ice Gauntlet, or if you're Great Axe Warhammer, I would like for you to level up the main weapons first. And then if you have extra gypsum, you will use it on the amulets, earring, and ring, the accessories. Those also take priority after the weapon. If you're doing a lot of activities that are giving you gypsum, which there are many of them, and you have extra gypsum orbs, then yeah, you can go ahead and spend it on the gear. If you know that you're going to have enough gypsum for tomorrow, so you can once again craft the weapons and the other pieces of accessories. So yes, those are the ways that you can get your expertise bumps. You're going to be doing your daily elite runs. You're going to be doing as many dungeons, expedition runs as you can do it a day. As many, those you can do like 15 a day. So if you can do all 15 in one day, dude, you will be ready in like 2-3 days. You'll have maximum expertise, no problem whatsoever. And then the third and last way is just visiting the kiln and utilizing the gypsum ores to increase your expertise. And that is for the expertise part of the video. If you are a level 60 and you're doing those things, you probably got your professions, at least the refining ones, to 200. If you got your refining ones to 200s, I would recommend that you go ahead and either, if you have a lot of time to play the game or you enjoying farming the materials, farm the materials and do these dailies every day. If you don't have the time to farm the materials, then you can go ahead and farm the materials at the marketplace. Just go ahead and make those buy orders, and that way you will be saving yourself a couple of bucks. If you don't want to make the buy orders, you can just buy the resources straight up out of the marketplace. Just know that the profit that you make by making the 10 osmodium or the 10 runic leathers is going to be less if you buy the materials every single day from the marketplace. On top of that, if you guys spend gold into this type of gear, Everfalls, let me show you, into like smelter gear or tanner gear or weaver's gear, every time that you're making these dailies refining materials, you will be getting extra, and therefore you're making an extra bucks every day. I know that probably you don't have enough gold, but if you do, that is a good thing that you can spend on, and you don't have to ever worry about that. So buying the refining gear and doing your dailies refining cooldowns, it gives you a pretty decent amount of money. On top of that, they have recently added that if every day you finish 2 level 25, well, it doesn't really matter which portal you do. As you can see, a bunch of portals have been taken down, because now if you clear a one of the big portals, it doesn't have to be level 66. As long as it's a big portal, usually people go and do the early level ones, like the level 25. Like, for example, which level is this? 35. If you're level 60, you can still clear this level 35. And if you're not the 55, the 55 will be hard for you alone. But if you clear the 35 or the 25, as long as they're big, they will give you a bag once you open the box that will give you 500 gold. You can clear 2 of them a day for an extra 1,000 gold. So now you got the refining and you got these bags for 1,000 gold every day. Now that we cover how to get the expertise and about the dailies, well, what happens after that? Once you get your expertise to 600, you're going to start getting it to 625. That is going to be your next goal. You get these resources over here called the Umbra Shards. Well, how do you get this, you ask? Many different ways. The main way is going to be doing any mutation dungeons, and those are whenever you see them floating with the floating red triangles around it, you can see that this expedition is now mutated. And if you do the different levels of mutations right here, they give you a respected amount of shard. If you do it at very low level, as you can see, for level 1 it only gives you 40, but for level 10 it will give you 6,000. So you will make your way down there. So whenever you're doing these expeditions and you're getting your Umbra shard, you can start putting it onto your gear after it's 600, and you can start leveling up past 600. Once you level these things up, then, well, you will be able to do the next mutations, because they require you a specific amount of gear score for you to be able to go in there. For level 2, you can see that it requires a recommended gear of 604. What happens if you go below 604? You're going to have a terrible time. The mobs are going to be doing an insane amount of damage to you, and you won't be doing almost any damage to them. So I always recommend that if you're joining a mutation, please have at least the minimum required gear score. For the M10, you guys see that it requires 625. If you don't have 625 or the required gear score, it will show on red. So never ever go on red. You will climb your way there now, especially since you don't need to craft the keys. You can do like 25 mutations mutations a week. That is plenty of mutations for you to start getting your gear back. Plus, on top of that, doing the elite runs every day and just running dungeons in general, there you have a chance of getting shards. Doing OPRs daily also give you shards, and doing the arenas daily also give you shards. So there are several ways for you to get those shards other than the mutation. If you want to level up a weapon that is not the musket or the light staff, the best place to level up your weapon right now is gonna be in Monarch's Bluff. You go all the way down here. You see this portal right here next to the Medley Fair. You will make your way down here to the Deadman Cove, and once you get to the Deadman Cove, you will make your way all the way up to the entrance of Deadman Cove, which is right here. Whenever you get in here, you kill all the mobs that are in this circle. You make your way up. You kill all of the mobs in this circle, and then you kill all of them. You kill all of the mobs in the entirety of all of these rooms right here. And whenever you're done killing all these mobs, you come down all the way at the beginning and you do all of this circle again, and you rinse and repeat. The reason I'm telling you this right now, well, not only it is the best way to level up every single one of the weapons, except for the light staff and the musket, because those are very single target oriented. Because the reason I'm telling you this is because this is going away the next patch. The next patch, they will be moving this area over here, and it's no longer going to be an elite zone. Now it's an elite zone. As a matter of fact, I think it's not even... Yeah, it is an elite zone. As you guys can see, it says elite stronghold. Right now, I just don't see the little red symbol for some reason. But yes, next patch, this area right here will no longer be elite, and it will not give you as much experience as it does now. And that's it. I covered the basics. You came back into the game. If your gear score is not 600 yet, get it to 600. While you're making it to 600, you can start doing your daily missions, like the daily crafting, the daily 1000 gold from the portals, or whenever you loot elite chests, the elite chests, they also have a chance on giving you that one bag that gives you 500 gold, right? So that's another main reason to do the elite runs. If you do the elite runs and you get your 2 bags from the elite chest, or if you do the dungeons and you get your bags from the elite chest, because you can get it by defeating the big portals, or you won't have to do the portals, and that's it. That is something that you get out of the way. So yes, you're going to be getting your gear score to 600 and doing the dailies every single day. Even if you don't think about it, it does give you money back. It does give you money back. Go ahead and do the math yourself. Buy the materials, craft the 10, and if you have the gear for that refining, profession, you more than likely will make extra, therefore making a little bit extra money. Once you get your gear to 600, then you're going to start working away on getting the shards. In the meantime, you can do a lot of all the things to get your expertise up. Like I say, you can do OPRs, you can do arenas. So it's not just dungeons. And whenever you do these things, you get your gypsum orbs. Use them to get your gear score to 600. And then the shards. Just do the mutations, do the elite runs, run dungeons, and get your shards and get your gear score to 625. If you guys have any other question about what you should do in the meantime, just go ahead and ask in chat. All right, more than likely I'll be there to give you an answer. All right, cheers, and see you around.